Namibia was among the 21 countries that participated in the 63rd UNITAS exercise, which ended recently. The Namibian ship Elephant was assigned to represent the country's navy during the naval parade and also in Operation UNITAS, marking Brazil's bi-centennial independence anniversary. Public relations reporter for the Ministry of Defense, Teoporta Nghipunya, accompanied the Navy on this exercise and now joins us in studio to shed some more light. A very good afternoon to you, Teoporta, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Kalunduka. And yeah.
Now, please give us a bit of a background of the exercise again and what exactly it means for Namibia.
Yeah, first thing first, let me just use the opportunity also to thank the Ministry of Defense, in particular the Public Relations Division, for at least trusting me to carry out on this assignment, and also the NBC for having me on the platform. Yeah, to get back to your question, invitation was extended to Namibia Navy by the Brazilian counterpart to attend the exercise UNITAS, which is also coincides with the Brazilian 200 independence anniversary. So now Namibia partaking in this exercise, it is a big gain for not only for the Namibian Navy, but for for the whole country in particular. Imagine Namibia participating, Namibia participating in this magnitude of the exercise alongside the well-established navies in the world. It is a quite impressive moment for our time. So the exercise it's beneficial to Namibia, more especially to the Namibian Navy in terms of skill development and also testing of our equipment. So remember, this is the first ever mission which was assigned by Namibian only to cross over the Atlantic Ocean, and they did it with no hesitations. So Namibia had to put itself on a platform or to put its footprint on the international platform. It's a way of marketing ourselves and also just to gain that consideration from the international, navies out there.
Right. As the accompanying journalist, what stood out most for you on the sea journey?
Yeah, it was my first time ever being, sailing such a long distance. And what stood out for me is the remarkable commitment from the ship crew members. Guess what? We just had some troubles over there in the ocean along the way. We had engine shutdowns and, the turbulence of the sea as well. It's not anything one could imagine could happen to anyone. And, these guys, they put up a very, a strong and resilient, commitment to make sure that we reach our destination. That was
one of the standing out moments for you.
Exactly.
Yes. What was your daily activity on the ship aside from the recording exercises that you were doing? What else did you get up to?
During my free time, I have to acquaint myself with the rest of the crew members at their respective duty stations, just to acquaint myself and familiarize myself with different components of the vessels. I'm a military personnel at the same time. It was also a great time for me to learn new things during that trip. And also, I also partake in the exercises, more especially on the emergency drills, because that's a very prominent exercise that we do, that one could always have to orientate themselves. Anything happens, then you know where to go and what time you need to be there.
Now, were there any females on the ship, and if so, what capacities and roles did they play?
Of course, we were on board. There were female counterparts who were tasked or charged with different or various tasks. For example, we had, of course, the ship was being piloted by a male captain, deputized by a female captain, Commander Tioleni. She was responsible for the overall administration of the whole vessels over the journey.
Okay. Now, from your experience, and I think you alluded to a bit earlier on when you said that it was a great opportunity for Namibia, especially the Namibian Navy, to be participating in UNITAS. Is Namibia on par with the navies or the other navies that were participating in the UNITAS?
Yeah, well, Namibia is a small nation, and remember, we just gained independence 30 years ago. But to be honest, I'm very impressed with how these crew members have. It's about the mindset, actually. Namibia have put out a very remarkable performance during that exercise. And also to send a vessel of that nature. We were standing out, and it was a time to reckon for Namibia. So yes, we are getting there. I'm sure we are getting there.
Indeed. And finally, Teoporta, before we let you go, any lasting memories you have on your expedition?
Yeah, it was an adventurous journey at the same time, and the voyage was so, eventful. Everything that happened during that trip, for me, it will remain a memory for the future, and it will attach to my progressing career. It's more like I have to attach it to my autobiography to say that was the most an assignment that I carried out ever in my career,
right,
and the first of its kind.
Teoporta, thank you so much for your time, and wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
That was a reporter and NDF personnel, Teoporta Nghipunya, talking to us about the 63rd UNITAS exercise that took place in Brazil recently.